We are now seeing the start of a high summer of direct action, peaceful, nonviolent civil disobedience in Washington and elsewhere that's designed to try to change the game, to try to make a new way possible, to try to unblock this impasse by finding a way into the conscience of the country and the conscience of lawmakers on this issue. Today, it was a group of about 50 lawmakers and activists and civil rights leaders, most of them African-American men, who gathered in front of the steps to the U.S. Supreme Court. There were members of Congress, state lawmakers from Texas, civil rights advocates, calling on the federal government to step up, to find a way to protect the right to vote for all Americans, to get the For the People Act passed. They gave speeches there where they started, and then a group of those activists and lawmakers and leaders, they left the steps of the Supreme Court. They marched to one of the U.S. Senate's office buildings. They held signs. They chanted, "No justice, no peace." Said, "This is what democracy looks like." When they arrived at the Senate office building, they stood in a line in front of the door, momentarily blocking anyone from coming in or out. It was an act of civil disobedience. They said, "The filibuster has to go." They said, "If we don't get it, shut it down." And you see that police officer there kind of pacing in front of them. That's how you know there were about to be arrests. Eventually, the arrest started, and even so, the protesters kept chanting while they were handcuffed, waiting in handcuffs, waiting to be loaded into the police vans. They're doing a kind of call and response with the people watching from the sidewalk, saying, "Black voters, they matter here." 10 people were arrested today, including a member of Congress. That's Georgia Congressman Hank Johnson in the purple tie and the sunglasses there, participating in that momentary blockade in front of the Senate office building today to try to push the envelope, to try to demand action on voting rights. So he was among those arrested today, put in handcuffs, hauled away by police. Hank Johnson is the second sitting member of Congress to be arrested in the past week for participating in direct action, in nonviolent civil disobedience around voting rights. Last week, you'll remember our coverage, it was Ohio Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, arrested in the lobby of that same Senate office building. Today's protest was organized by the group Black Voters Matter. If you noticed, it was black women leading that protest last week, black men leading it today. But it's just the latest in what has been a string of direct action, nonviolent civil disobedience, big public displays of commitment and calls to conscience this summer to try to push Congress, to try to change the game, to try to make something new possible, to protect voting rights.